Welcome to lecture 2 for Is450. I'm Professor Fahmi Jalani. Today we will discuss about understanding network economy and business network. So let's begin. So some of the drivers for network economy, we have the demand, individualization of demand, personal demand. Technically, what does each person requires. Also, next we have business specialization, different category of businesses. It could be finance, it could be logistics, it could be aviation, it could be engineering, it could be computer science, and the IT economy. So today, right now, technically everything is connected with technology, and each process has directly or indirectly being connected as a supply chain, for example. Okay. Next is industrial economy and the network economy. So criteria for the economy success, okay, is based on the business success. So in a nutshell, is economy of scale. Okay. Sorry. The more demand, the more supply. With that, we have technology innovation. Okay. Later we cover about Moore's law, okay, where technology advance every 18 months or technically 2 years. Okay. That's why we have, for example, the contract in certain countries, like say iPhone, is 2 years. So every 2 years, new model, new specification, new technologies are being created for their new models. Operating innovation, okay, today we have, for example, cloud system. Okay. Most, for example, email or database are in the cloud, and you can technically work anywhere. So as we speak right now, okay. Management technology, things like LMS, learning management system, or D2L, for example. With that, also we have laws, regulatory, Data Act, Privacy Act, and also length of time to achieve. Okay. It takes a while for us to achieve success. For example, Zoom. Right now, prior to Zoom, we have Skype, and especially during the pandemic, all of a sudden Zoom had picked up, and it has technically monopolized in terms of economy of scale, and now become a dominant player. Yeah. So that's the business model, and also their stock has increased. Okay. Also we have business network, how things are being laid out, the framework. Okay. What are the trends right now? Could be information system, could be cyber security, information assurance, right? And also we have collaboration with between companies or individual, right? You see that quite often, right? For example, you can see, for example, Ford and Harley Davidson, they are collaborating in terms of their design in their trucks, for example. Okay. Take a look at the figure next. Cover drivers of network economy. Here we see 3 drivers. Demand, like we mentioned, individual demand. Okay. So you need the support of the product. For example, your iPhone. Okay. And business specialization, like I mentioned just now earlier, the value chain, supply chain, and IT economy. How effective, efficient, affordable of the product. And all these three drivers are interrelated. Yeah. Let's take a look at individual in terms of demand. Okay. Here we have managerial capitalism to distributed capitalization. Okay. Wealthy individual demand the deep support of individualized needs. Okay. So usually the wealthy people will try to design a product, and from that other individual will see the ease of use, the effectiveness of the product, and from there they will buy the product, indirectly supporting the company. Okay. On the table here we see owners of asset capital. So we have in the market, for example, predominant player, capitalization. Okay. For example, big companies like iPhone and Samsung. Okay, they are monopolizing the market right now. Predominantly public, socialism, and that's for market. And command, we have communism. Okay, right. We see that in, for example, in China or North Korea. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at the managerial aspect. Okay. So with mass production, and it creates more employment, okay, and more consumption. Okay. So the more demand, the more supply. Okay. So in most companies, the hierarchy state that most of the decision makers are be made by the management, which is the managers, who could be the directors of the company. And this is basically to align the consumer or customer needs and the business need. So it's very essential that a good decision has to be made prior releasing a new product or creating a new product. As for distributed capitalization, okay, we have consumer or public predominantly control the asset capital. Okay. Basically the consumer influence or indirectly influence the product. Okay. And today competition, as we see, for example, in vehicle, companies like Toyota, Ford, GMC are all competing between each other, which is healthy, and trying to improve their technology, features, specification of their vehicle in order to suit the customer needs and want. Okay. So in new society of individual, okay, wealth for managerial capitalism transforms society based on self-determination. So technically we're speaking like a century. For example, I want to take my own life in my own hands. For example, you want to make decision. Okay? I want to be the origin of my own future, my destiny, and my meaning. See? And today we have, especially companies like iPhone, they are making a statement. Even Nike, they're making a statement. For example, individual statement. For example, they are using, for example, the tag word I, which is you yourself, iPhone. See, companies like Nike, they are using athlete, trying to influence that. Say Kobe Bryant, for example, the late Kobe, It could be the best basketball player, the best football player using this particular product, and you are being indirectly influenced using it, trying to relate their character. Okay? Voice, I want my voice to be heard, and no matter I want unmediated influence. Okay, you see that, for example, in social media. It could be YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, right? Connection. I seek community, but without old feudal and demands of conformity. Okay? So with, for example, social media, with that, you're able to connect to many uh, user or people, or, okay, in the public without any barriers, okay, across many countries. New consumer, okay, this support for individualized need, okay, this support for example, a meta product, not only goods and services, perpetually adapt proactive attention to dynamic needs of an individual. Okay, so in order to get your product to new customer, okay, companies need to customize it, try to connect or relate to the new customer in order to enable them to get influence or use the product. Okay, also you need to define in their individual space. Like I mentioned earlier, there should be a similarity of the product and the character of the individual, so that they could relate. So we have new technologies where it handles complexity of individual support bundles, for example, product by federated support network, which is a cluster around the individual, families, communities to support their aims. Okay? So sometimes you see um, yourself using, for example, an iPhone, and during a dinner, it could be for example, a Christmas party, or just a normal dinner, or you have other friends or relatives are using a different phone, and they are talking about their phone, and that is causing them a lot of problems, and you were there and you share about the technology, for example, the stability of the iPhone, for example. You could show them the features and the reliability of the product, and indirectly they are influenced by the product. Okay, that is just an example. Okay, right. Okay, some of the rules, okay, in new management, for example, adversaries transaction economy to technically advocate based relationship economy, right? That's we mentioned earlier. Asset, we have financial information authority of technology, distribute to individual consumerism. Okay. Some of the rules, a risk to, for example, iSpace, a product and solution for individual from solution for organization. Okay. Like you mentioned, example earlier is iPhone. You see, it's targeting individual consumer, right? So to advocate, but not all to alienate. No bias and seller adversarism. Okay. The third one is collaborate and federate to compete. Okay. Develop trust and transparency to work together and provide deep support. Okay. These are some of the rules that we could consider. Okay, next we take a look at business specialization. Basically, is to search of a unique and distinct position. That's the strategy. Most businesses, prior to setting up their, for example, new product, new services, they will do a research um, on the gaps which they think could be a new market or new category for the consumer. Okay. Also, search of fit in business activity. Like I mentioned, the research also will see whether if the product or the services fits that particular category for the consumer. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at the table here. I'm sorry. Here we have product innovation, for example, economy, culture, and competition. Okay, product innovation, say you need to have how to have speed, how fast is it? Culture, employee focus. Okay, are your employee equipped with the necessary skill to develop this product? Okay, and talent, you need people with special talent, for example, design. Okay, customer relationship, the scope, okay, the type of customer, also the focus, and also customization. In terms of infrastructure, as demand increase, are you able to scale it? Okay, the cost focus, most company will have a low manufacturing cost with a high profit. That's the baseline. Okay, competition, what's the standard? Okay, what's the standard size? For example, phone. Okay, mobile phone, for example. Okay, let's move on. Next, take a look at the three different terms of economy, culture, and competition. Okay. As for economy of speed, scale, okay, scope can be optimized simultaneously. Okay, in terms of economy, uh, if you want to develop a new product, okay, you, it's not possible for you to develop quickly without the right people and the right talent. Okay. In terms of culture, employees, customer, and cost focus are different. Okay. And is you need to be compromised. And last is competition. Talent, customization, and standardization leads to conflict. Okay. So, for give you example, some manufacturer doesn't want to sell their product. Okay, scale versus scope. Okay, scope in terms of customization. Okay, you cannot customize every product. Right. So one pay scale doesn't work well to attract innovators. Okay, you cannot have the same salary for the directors, the managers, and the worker, or the engineers, the scientists, or the production worker. Okay, that's totally different. And customization and building scale slow the design. Okay, so scale, scope versus speed, right? So in order to innovate, uh, we will take time, research and development, R&D. Okay. Okay, next we take a look at IT economy. Say effective, efficient, and flexibility, versatile, adapt, IT is affordable. Okay. Uh, in terms of business, we have IT infrastructure, structure feed. You need to be able to have the infrastructure in your company, for example, the technology, to enable it to perform effectively. Okay, and having said that, uh, cost effective, right? Um, Computing efficiency. Okay, again, also take a look at um, the how the machine is performing, right? If you are doing design, you need to have a powerful graphic uh, system to be able to handle it, things like that. Low communication cost. um, Today with, for example, social media, you can communicate as and when, for example, WhatsApp, uh, Twitter, things like that. Okay. Digital conversion. Okay. Most company are moving to digital, from analog to digital. And also we have wireless, uh, miniaturization, making things smaller. Okay, like you have your smartwatches. That's how you improve. And also we have AI, artificial intelligence. Okay. Companies do develop, for example, robot chat, where if there's any question, the robot on the website will be able to answer it, all the frequently asked question. Right? Okay. And let's take a look at the figure. Yeah. Um, Here we have business and IT feed. Okay. Here, from time, business, and IT infrastructure. During the 60s and 70s, is more hierarchy. Okay, we have big mainframe, where base centralized computing and central intelligence, um, data being computed, uh, quite primitive in terms of the speed, okay, the size of the system. It could be as big as a room. Okay, as we progress to 80s to 95, uh, business are more entrepreneurial. Okay, with smaller computer and higher computing power, uh, and with local area network, for example, the internet. Companies are able to connect and to communicate efficiently, effectively. So from 1995 to present right now, with the network, things like the cloud, wireless, it's more intelligent based. Yeah. And we have a shared knowledge. Okay. And having said that, recap, like according to Moore's law, the speed, or for example, in this case, the microprocessor of your, for example, your PC, your laptop, your desktop, your smartphone, and your mobile phone, are double 18 to 24 months in terms of size and cost. Okay? So you get, technically you can get a new model every 2 years or less. Okay? So to achieve both richness and reach, in terms of richness, the amount of information. Okay, today we have vast amount of information which is quite common, or you can say it is information overload. and the reach is quite unlimited. A person from America can connect to a person in Singapore, in Asia, or in Africa, or in Europe, okay, live, okay. So there's no trade-off. So that's pretty much it for our lecture. So if you have any question, please feel free to email me or just make an appointment to see me. Thank you very much. Stay safe and wear a mask and social distance. Thank you very much. Bye bye.